Hey everyone, this is Hootie Hoot from the Sports Deli Podcast, your co-host and producer. We really appreciate you joining us again today for part 2 of this incredible interview with Jelani McCoy, NBA champion with the 2002 Los Angeles Lakers. If you listened to part 1, feel free to fast forward to the 14-minute and 15-second mark of the podcast. And if you did not listen to part 1, feel free to listen to the next 14 minutes and 15 seconds of the podcast, which includes the introduction of the podcast, The Sports Deli, as well as the introduction of Jelani McCoy, and guest hosts Rashawn McLeod, former Duke Blue Devil, and Coach K right here in the Sports Deli. Welcome first-time listeners and returners to the Sports Deli. The Sports Deli is sponsored by SportRx. SportRx is the leader in sports prescription eyewear. You can find them online at sportrx.com. And don't forget to enter the code DELI10 at checkout for your special 10% discount. We also want to give props to PSK Collective. Be inspired in PSK, where their clothing promotes inclusivity, empowerment, and equality by supporting female athletes through the Women's Sports Foundation. You can find them online at pskcollective.com or at walmart.com. We also want to thank citylokes.com, where you can get your own personalized hats and phone cases, tees, accessories, and much, much more. I ordered 2 hats, and they're amazing. One of them says The Sports Deli, and it has a California license plate, and the other one has a Michigan license plate and says Speak Up and Dribble, Black Lives Matter. So check them out at citylokes.com, and don't forget to enter the code THESPORTSDELI at checkout for your special 10% discount. And we're so excited to finally be supporting Moolah Kicks. They're dropping in May of 2021. They are the first female-only brand basketball shoe, and you can find them online at Moolah. Moolah is Moolah, Kicks, like shoes, Kicks, plural, MoolahKicks.com. Again, much thanks to Natty White, the founder of Moolah Kicks. You can always send us an email to thesportsdeli@gmail.com, and you can also DM us on Instagram at Mike Hootner or on Twitter at Michael Hootner. A little bit about your 2 co-hosts today. Coach K coaches at Skyline High School in Seattle, Washington. He coached college basketball for a number of years. He worked with the Orlando Magic under Coach Chuck Daly in the late 90s. He's a yoga instructor and a yogi, and he was one of my college basketball coaches when I was at Goucher College. As for myself, Hootie Hoot, I coached college basketball for 23 years, 15 on the men's side and 8 on the women. And I now coach at a low-income, first-generation high school girls basketball here in San Diego. I played 4 years of college basketball. I'm a life coach. I have a beautiful daughter. I'm a professional basketball skills trainer. We love to share space with our guests here in the Sports Deli to talk about the intersection between race and sports, mental health and sports, equality, empowerment, empathy, leadership, education, sports, and solutions. We want to help mobilize, listen, learn, and pay it forward. Remember, your voice matters when fighting systemic racism. Read a book, acknowledge your white privilege, watch a movie about institutional racism, call your local or state representatives, and or have a conversation with someone that doesn't look like you. We have to change the economic, educational, police, housing, prison, and voting suppression narratives that currently need to be changed in this country. And the only way to do that is to listen and learn and then help be a part of the mobilization and change that we want to see. We're so honored that you're joining us today, and we hope that you can grab your favorite deli sandwich or bagel and your favorite beverage, and let's do this together in the Sports Deli. All right, we want to welcome back Coach K into the Sports Deli, and also welcome our guest host, Rashawn McLeod, former Duke Blue Devil under Coach K and former NBA player. And on this 23rd day of National Soft Pretzel Stress Awareness and Cannabis Awareness Month, we are joined by our very special guest, San Diego's very own, sort of, Jelani McCoy. He played at St. Augustine High School here in San Diego. He did not surf, but did skateboard until he was too tall. His dad, who's from Arkansas, was a great high school football player who later became a practice squad player with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jelani started with football, but when he got taller, basketball was a natural progression. He always took the term student athlete to heart growing up, and the experience of playing in the 95 McDonald's All-American game in St. Louis was incredible, but Jelani said it was in some of the practices leading up to the game with the likes of KG, Vince Carter, Mr. Big Shot, Chauncey Billups, and Paul Pierce that were not suitable for children. He later went on to star at UCLA. He had a triple-double, recording 15 points, 10 boards, and 11 blocks. Are you kidding me? Not your traditional triple-double. Anyway, he did it against the University of Maryland in his first big game while listening to Tupac before the game. He got drafted in the second round by the NBA by the then Seattle Supersonics in the second round with the 33rd overall pick, and later won an NBA title in 2002 playing with the Zen Master Phil Jackson while playing alongside Kobe, Shaq, Rick Fox, D-Fish, and D3 sensation Devin George. As amazing as that is, you don't want to miss the story later about his experience in Seattle and who possibly saved his career. He also played professionally in 6 countries. He's been an executive director and producer, including but not limited to podcasting called the Official McCoy Podcast, available on YouTube, where he did an amazing episode, among others, a couple years ago, dedicated to the late and inspirational Nipsey Hussle and his business partner, Ray Young, talking about mental health and Ray's near-death experience. He is currently the president of Media 34, where he is not only an innovative creator of cultural relevant content that taps into the passions of conscious consumers, but he and his partners, Ray Young, Jocelyn Rose Lyons, and Matt Barnes, who are executive partners, hope to make inroads into the white technology and entertainment space and industry that is long overdue. Jelani is a shrewd businessman and mindful of how the black dollar is not only perceived, but spent, and is actively engaged in mobilizing this shift by not only educating people, but putting his money where his mouth is in the black and brown communities. Mental health is an important issue for him as he has learned to manage his anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder. One of his favorite moments was when he was guarding Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon, and as Hakeem was proceeding to make one of his several patented fakes before he would shoot, Jelani stripped his ass and started the fast break. He shares a birthday with Giannis. You can find on Instagram at Jelani_McCoy_34 and at Media 34, where he's the president. What's up, Lon?
Who? What up?
What's up, dog? UCLA, baby. You know I got to represent. Let's go.
How you feeling?
I'm good, man. You going crazy yet?
I've been going crazy. I just hide it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a lot shorter on Zoom than you are on TV.
Dude, you know, we all getting old, man. My spine isn't what it used to be, man. It's shook.
Hey, you see that picture right there, Big J?
Oh, God.
Bring that back. Bring that back. Hold on.
That's
Rashawn.
What's going on? Surprise, man. Surprise.
Man, what's up, bro?
I'm good, bro.
Oh, man, Rashawn, I was just telling somebody, I work with Showtime, and they did the St. Anthony's doc. And I was telling them, remember when I came to practice when you guys were in San Diego?
There you go, yeah. That was funny, man.
Yeah. You went to St. Anthony's, right?
I did, yeah. I went to St. Anthony's. Yep.
It was you, Jaleel Roberts.
Jaleel Roberts, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had Roderick Rhodes as well.
I forgot. See, yeah.
We was tough. Yeah, we had fun out there, man. Out in your hometown, man.
Yeah, man, y'all did. Y'all was clowning. I was almost came. You know, they sent. Yeah, they sent a Coach Hurley. You know what I mean? Because my mentor, Coach Woolridge, and Coach Hurley were tight.
We're tight. Right.
So they did. You know, they did the whole thing. Hey, if he comes out here to New Jersey, we'll take care of him. We'll guarantee you he'll be a top 5 pick. You know what I mean? You did the whole little thing, and I was like,
Man, shoot, if we was pretty damn good. If we'd have had you, we wouldn't have lost the 2 games we lost.
Man. You know, man.
Who'd you lose to, Rashawn?
Dunbar.
Yeah.
Baltimore,
and
Dunbar, Baltimore.
Yeah, they had Dante Bright and Keith Booth, and I mean they were loaded.
Was that post Muggsy? Was that after Muggsy graduated?
Yeah, it was after Muggsy. Yeah, and then we lost to Marist High School with Donnell Williams and Warren Anderson. Those guys. My junior year, we lost one. So
you didn't lose too many
my
games.
Yeah, man. It was bad for a lot of teams.
Yeah. Evil Empire.
Yeah, that's when we what was the kid name we played against? That was he dunked on Billy Lovett so hard, the kid on our team. It was not even we still clown him about that dunk till today. He had a French name, it was like Pierre something. I forget his name. But
Hoot and I know all about dunking.
I can tell.
Hey, Hoot. Did you? Hey, Hoot.
Well, hold up real quick. But when I have Ray on Monday, and this is an exclusive. I'm opening with the strength shoes because he used strength shoes, and I made a ratchet pair. I cut up an old pair of shoes, took the bottoms, and stacked them on the toe. And I made my own pair of ratchet ass strength shoes, and I gained 8 inches that summer.
Okay, you put together some hoodie but goodies, some
I was in the first jump shoes video, man. Because Coach Hurley was the sponsor for the jump shoes, and he did the first video. And my sophomore year, man, we used to wear them, and we had a bunch of them, and we used to practice in the summer with them on. And our first 15 minutes of practice used to be with the jump shoes. So we did the first video for the jump shoes.
You're lucky you didn't rupture your Achilles, man. That thing puts a lot of pressure on the tendon.
Man. Hey, I got somebody to blame them. I got somebody to blame that my hops ain't coming the way that they were supposed to now.
You need to do a class action lawsuit against their ass.
Dude, I'd like to know why you didn't just get a pair. Why did you have to construct your own shoe? Were you trying to make it better, or were you just on a budget?
$100. I saved $100. Shit. Okay. Are you crazy?
Okay, who? $100 was a bag back then too. Don't get
it too. Man. 91 or whatever.
Is that because you were born before sponsorship, Mike?
Okay, here we go. Gordon coming back into the sports deli talking shit.
Yeah, well.
For real, I told KJ this, and you guys, the UCLA connection, and truly honored that you're joining us.
But that's all the time we have for this show.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Damn, man.
It's 10-minute introduction. Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you in part Star Wars.
Wait. In your introduction, there's all kinds of stuff I want to hear about, because I want to hear about the growth spurt, and I want to hear about the skateboarding, and I want to hear about Seattle. But do I understand that today is both Pretzel Day and Cannabis Awareness Day on the same day?
It's Soft Pretzel, Stress Awareness, and Cannabis Awareness Month, not day, dumbass. You're always talking shit about me being an articulate listener and that I don't listen and all that, man. Get out of here.
Hey, man, that's funny as hell because I'm actually a soft pretzel guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for cannabis. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
Hey, we got 23. You know what I mean? It's 23. That's Michael Jordan's number. It's a lot of good symbolism going on.
I don't think there are any non-advocates for cannabis, are there?
Yeah, believe it or not, there's still some out there.
Well, they're going to be swept over by the tide, I believe.
Without question.
Real soon.
It's a good thing that Doritos or Peanut M&M's Day doesn't fall on Cannabis Awareness Day, because I'm not sure I'd be able to keep it all together.
Nah, everybody, the older dudes would lose all their teeth. You know what I mean? You got to be careful with them peanut M&M's, man. You got to be careful. You might end up leaving with a chip.
Welcome to part 2 of the interview with special co-host Rashawn McLeod, former Duke Blue Devil and Atlanta Hawk, right here in the Sports Deli, along with our original co-host of the show, Coach K, along with myself, Hootie Hoot, for Dr. J. We hope that you enjoy part 2 of this incredible interview with Jelani McCoy, former NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers and former UCLA Bruin. Right. Tops on the menu will be a discussion talking about mental health, not only Jelani's journey, but how we can help people who are suffering from depression or mental health issues right here in the Sports Deli. part of what's related to this that used to be more taboo than it is now. We've talked about this a lot, but it's important, and everyone sort of has a different angle. Rashawn went through his stuff. My dad committed suicide when I was 9. And your friend UCLA brother Billy Knight posted obviously a heartbreaking video before his death. You and Ray talked about your stuff. And then Ray's boy, who he grew up with, had bipolar schizophrenia and killed his dad.
Yeah.
So how do we tackle this issue, not just in pro sports, but just with kids and going forward?
I think it's the understanding. I think as you go through things, like it sounds like a lot of us have during this call or Zoom, I think it's about recognizing the signs and things that because people scream out for help a lot. You know what I mean? They do it in different ways. And as far as athletes, I think on Chris's KJ Live, the coach from Last Chance U said, he can see himself in some of the players when they act out, because he used to act out, right? You know what I mean? So I think right now,
well, and back in the day, you didn't. I'm going to cut you off, but back in the day, just listen to me, or you didn't pay those things as a coach. You just coached, and now we need to, as coaches, as mentors, as ex-players, pay attention to the psychology part of the game and not just the X's and O's.
You have to. I remember when we were I was a coach at the Top 100 camp. Every team had a sports psychologist. They used to sit on the bench with us and go over our reactions with players and our back and forth, our dialogue with the players, how to get eye contact, make sure you get verbal responses, different things that trigger different things in the brains, especially for the short attention spans that kids have nowadays. It's just a mixture of different things that lead to, us ignoring things, because there's a lot of pressure on the coaches to keep their jobs, to keep wins, to keep recruits coming in, to make sure that they get people to keep the machine going so they can just turn and turn and turn. And I think that when the machine starts to get off the rails and success isn't as easy, or they're not getting the same players that they used to respect, or whatever's going on on their teams, it's just, you have to pull back and remember that these are young men. We've all had mental health issues, and we all know the signs, and we all know what happens when you add pressure to these situations. So it's just about, I try to remind myself that I'm not perfect, and I've seen these things, and there are resources and tools. Even if you don't have all the answers, you got to get an assistant that does. So if you're a head coach, and it might be getting a little bit past you, you better go get the assistant who's sitting down there and when it talks in their language and just knows, hey, this and that's going on. Let's just chill on him today. Let's just make sure he gets a good workout and we there for him, or let's just send him home and make sure he's straight and he's eating, and little things like that. So I think it's just, if you aren't the guy, make sure your staff are those guys and they can pick up, on some things that you might be deficient in. That's all that is.
And how did you learn to manage your OCD and your anxiety? Is there anything specifically that you did that you could learn from?
Cannabis.
You didn't put up a bunch of banners on the wall behind you with boxes and plaques?
Nah, man. To be honest with you, I always had super bad OCD. I used to open and close the refrigerator, and I used to get stuck on shit. The doors, the opening and closing and shit. I knew how many, I still do kind of. I know how many buttons are on the remote controls.
Wow.
I know how many steps. It's 13 steps for me to go up to the stairs, and it's 6 more to do this. Then I turn to right. I literally, that's how my brain, I used to talk. And it's like you fucking talking to yourself. You know what I mean? Because you're going through all your processes and your little ticks, and you're hearing a voice. It's 6 steps here. I turn right twice. That doesn't feel right, because I know when it feels right, I get the click sound, and the click sound feels right for me. And then I know I can open the door. You know what I mean? I always think I leave my keys or some shit somewhere. You know what I mean? They still come out. That cannabis, and I got hypnotized. So before the hypnotism was cannabis in high school. You know what I mean? I got offered some cannabis. I was anti-cannabis because in my woke shit, I was on some almost quasi-Muslim, don't know alcohol.
Purity.
My stepbrother was selling
purity,
drugs.
The addiction of purity.
My stepbrother was selling drugs. So I was like, what drugs do to the community, you know what I mean? I was on my little level. And I think I caved one day and we had some cannabis and all of that shit went away.
Wow.
And it just tripped me out. Like I'm waiting for things I usually take. I'm talking about I didn't like touching certain things. If I deemed you nasty or, if you like scratching your face, things that people do and you try to reach for me, like I would like ever so slightly pull away or whatever it is. It's just, it's the disorder, you know what I mean? It threw a lot of people off. Oh, he's eccentric. Nah, part of my brain is telling me I can't do this or let you touch me. Couldn't use public restrooms. Like I had the whole shit. And I didn't know what it was until I saw the ABA.
Wow.
Oh.
So I think that was all the way up till college. I had heard of OCD or anything. I used to ask my mom questions. Rest in peace to my mom. My mom, mom, boy, you got that. You need what you need to do is get your ass in there and read that Bible. Come with me to church. And that bullshit. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. But I found out when I had cannabis for the first time, like it literally like all dissipated, and I was super present. And I was able to focus, you know what I mean? I always had laser focus, but it was laser focus on, I used to say, I spend my day tracking to 100 screens I have in my head to 25 so I can go to sleep. That was the best way I could explain, when I didn't know what my OCD was. It's like looking at like 100 screens and I just try to get away of a couple just so it's like 25. You know what I mean? Never really needed a lot of sleep. You know what I mean? Still don't to this day. You know what I mean? My dad's a computer geek engineer, worked for Dell, was an officer in the Navy. So he stayed up coding a lot. So I used to stay with him, learning coding and soldering computer boards and shit. So I was just like a tweak, and, cannabis actually made my tweak like manageable and enjoyable. Now I could take my anxiety on things, you know what I mean? Even my work. It used to bleed into my workouts, Rashawn. Like, that's why I shot such a high field goal percentage. Because I used to vamp out if I like missed a shot in the workout. If I'm missing shots, working on my jumper, I'm not hitting. It used to piss coaches off. Like, come on, man. I'm not trying to be weird or I don't have a bad attitude. It's literally OCD tweaking me out because I'm doing the same thing every time and the ball's not going in. I'm doing what you're telling me, and that shit's not going in. Like my body and the cells in my body are firing off. So that's when I started getting down on cannabis, and never really been a big drinker. I can because I'm a bigger guy and I'm an athlete, and I can, when you're in college, you can do all type of silly shit. But once I found like cannabis, like had me straight, dialed in, no anxiety. I had aversions to food too. I never used to eat. You know what I mean? Because I was always like anxious about some shit or worried. So then I could eat, you know what I mean? Eat, started sleeping a little bit better. Class was going a lot better. I had some other personal issues that I was able to compartmentalize. And I was like, shit, you know what I mean? This plan is here from God. You know, what your laws and what it says, you know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely rolling with this plan. So ever since then, I made my commitment. I'm still, you know what I mean? I'm still an advocate. I'm always going to be because it literally helped my life. Who knows what would have happened if I would have continued, being OCD'd out and just drinking all the time on some college shit, you know what I mean? Doing other high pressure shit. Those things leave marks and scars sometimes if you don't have the proper resources. So I'm glad that cannabis entered my life. It took me through a wild ride, cost me a little bit of money, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm still glad it entered my life.
Now, when they hypnotized you, did you feel like you were 5'10" afterwards?
No, man. I just felt, it was weird. I just felt like I can control space. Like one of the things the therapist made me do when I came into the gym, when I was experiencing my anxieties, a lot like what Kevin Love talks about, because you don't never know when it's really going to come. It just comes. And it's like, I'm weird right now, and everybody around me is weird, was just honoring the North, the South, and the East and West in the gym. Because he knew I was like very Zen. I was kind of yogish and Zen and believed that, I was into martial arts and shit. So he had did some tricks. She had did some tricky shit where, you know what I mean? She involved like the lights and things that she knew that my brain, you know what I mean, would go through. So after that, like, I felt like I was able to control like different energies and not just ever so slightly move out of the way instead of stepping into everything, confronting and making a big issue, and just kind of be like, you know, being water, my friend. That's what it was more like. So it helped a lot. Because when you're going in and out of the NBA, you're going to different teams, and you like Iverson will tell you, and you got to do the early bus workout, plus pay your minutes, plus ride the bike if you didn't play so-and-so minutes, plus travel. You got to be the first in the drills and practice all the sprints and everything, going to different teams. And, you know, that shit is stressful, man. So you got to have something, and that can't always be the tequila, damn it.
Yeah.
So last thing that I want to talk about, if it's okay, before we get to the rapid fire.
Yeah.
So when you another UCLA brother, former NBA player who made his mark by having a certain type of persona in Matt Barnes, and you know, we've gone from where we were when you guys were in college to Matt Barnes is having a one-on-one with the president of the United States.
Yeah, was there.
Yeah, and you know, your company is changing things in ways that I don't even understand. Baron Davis obviously was slick, you know, just there's things going on just with UCLA people that Johnson's a bear. I mean, a lot of guys that are trying to break the mold and break into, you know, white America. I'll tell everyone a little bit, you know, what you're doing and the importance of storytelling, and not just from all the smoke, but from Media 34 and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, shout out to Matt Barnes, man. Matt Barnes been doing a fantastic job leading the charge, not only as far as cannabis, but as far as being outspoken to athletes, having control over their own voices. And that's basically what Media 34 is about. You know what I mean? We've been storytellers. We're either the objects, the subjects in the story. You know what I mean? A lot of us were there for a lot of the stories that, you know what I mean, are being told right now. Or know people that were there, have family members or in those same neighborhoods. There's a lot of these great things that are being told across the media stories, whether that be the stories about Straight Outta Compton, you know what I mean, all the basketball documentaries that are coming out, the basketball movies, you know what I mean, since the beginning. You know, the stories about from Blue Chips to Above the Rim to you name it. These are our stories. You know, we're no stranger to white America. You know, at the end of the day, our stories are no stranger to white America. White America's been able to make a lot of money, you know what I mean? Been able to manipulate, form whole networks and conglomerates based off the backs and sweats of some Black creators. And it's not just the actors and the people that sing, it's the people behind the scenes. There's so many creative directors and people that set design and people that fell into things that, you know what I mean, just being on the scene creative. That has so many jobs behind the scenes as Disney's, Warner Brothers, you name it.
I was just going to interject and say the thing that I heard either from Tremaine Folks or somebody else was that a lot of white producers and directors over the years have rejected anything that had to do with Black or Brown America because they wanted to maintain the control and the narrative, even though they could have made billions more. And so that's why it's so important that these spaces that you guys are creating is long overdue, because they've been controlling this narrative far too long, and that's just not going to happen anymore.
No, man, I used before Media 34, I worked for another company, Officialized, for 2 years, and we had the most professional athletes under one platform. We had 30-something athletes, Richard Sherman, OBJ, Rob Gronkowski. We were like heavy on the NFL. When I took the job, I started making a pivot into the WNBA, Angel McCoughtry, Udonis Haslam, Montrez, you know what I mean? So we what we did was we combined social media, e-commerce, and content for all of those players, right? So we posted natively for them on their social. Rashawn would have a t-shirt, a coffee mug, whatever we felt like he could sell to the Duke Blue Devil fan base, as well as his fan base for his professional team, right? Because you got the top guys and you got other guys who were able to monetize their name bound down, then move a lot further along down the bench. So we were doing that. We obviously had our top tier players. We were going into women's sports, action sports, and that whole nine. And what I found was when we were outsourcing, I did a co-directed, a bunch of content, probably like $1 million worth of content when I got the job. And when I would find we would outsource people who did stuff for 30s and all these different things, like just going in, you know what I mean? Obviously they had the technical, the shot list, everything you're supposed to have, the schedule, all of those things, but their stories were full of shit. You know what I mean? Their questions were full of shit. Like athlete, our whole thing at the company at that time was speaking to athletes, how athletes speak to them, and the questions and the things that they produced were just shit that was just ridiculous, corny. They would never say that. You're going to lose them, lose the energy on the set, yada, yada, yada. And that just kept on happening. The more and more things we went to meet with executives and different brands, they would literally ask for, hey, it's like a menu thing. Like, you got any stuff, with this culture with athletes, you know what I mean? These are cool podcasts or school, but you got anything that's a little bit more cultured, you know what I mean? A little bit more swaggy or whatever they're doing now. So, hats off to Baron. He started his company based off being in a lot of those conversations, and actually naming his company Sports, Lifestyle, and Culture. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a back at you thing, you know what I mean? Same thing, controlling our stories, obviously providing resources and protecting creatives, and just, you know what I mean? And doing dope shit. We're doing dope things that other people are starting to pivot and trying to do. But, you know what I mean? It's kind of too late now, because not that we have the secret sauce. It's just like, you have to be us to be there. Like, we're really there. We really know these people. We really work for Matt. We produced the interview with Biden on the campaign trail with Matt.
Amazing.
So we've done stuff with the Jackson estate. We've really been trying to do dynamic stuff, it's all about the story. So you come to us with a story.
The real story.
Yeah, but we figure out, what is it? Is that a podcast? Is that a mini series that we can tell on Instagram? Is that a mini series that we can get to a brand and they can take it and sell it somewhere? Because it's a live stream on YouTube, right? But a lot of people can turn on cameras and make content, but where does that stuff live? You know what I mean? Where can you distribute it? What's the audience? What's the best way to tell the story? So that's what we've been doing in Media 34, is finding out the best way to tell individual stories and using the best medium to tell that story. It could be animation, could be, you know what I mean? Could be comedy, could be serious, it could be 3 minutes, you know what I mean? It could be 15, it could be episodic, could be a documentary, you know what I mean? A full feature. So we're just trying to tell dope stories the way to different audiences, the way we feel like they want to see and hear from them, using the right music, you know what I mean? The right shooters, the right to the different things that are resonating on different things. It's different between Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the different, you know what I mean, places that people are putting content. So you have to have an eye for those different verticals. So that's what we've been concentrating. It's been a lot, but it's been fun.
Yeah, man, that is fascinating, and it's about fucking time. And and it reminds me of when I watched Steph Curry and Chuck and Ozzy. There was a Race in Sports on the Golf Channel. And when I was watching Steph Curry, obviously we know how important certain issues are to him. He's read, he's interviewed Obama, but his body language and the way that he was intently engaged in that conversation. Yes, he's going to go down as we talked about yesterday in Clubhouse, as a generational shooter, as Rashawn so eloquently pointed out. Mm-hmm. You could argue if he's a generational player or just a generational shooter, but he wants to be remembered. And I want to ask you the same question, for being more, as much, if not more, off the court than he was on the court in terms of his impact in the Black and brown community. And so I want to ask you, obviously, you want that to happen organically? Is that part of your mission? Or is that just, you're just doing what you're doing because it's about fucking time? And if that's a byproduct of it, then that's what will happen.
No, that's what I'm out here setting out to do. I'm not out here playing no games and no disrespecting nobody else or the white community, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. I just know that, our stories can be told our way, you know what I mean? Especially since everybody's so leaning on sports right now for everything. Sports, they're putting people in movies, KGs, and full-length features now. Dudes are selling products that ain't got nothing to do with basketball. They're investing in companies. So Now's the time. So I would encourage Steph to do that. He should want to be remembered as that because you can do it now. Back when, you know what I mean, back in our day, a couple of people lost their jobs, a couple of players, you know what I mean, didn't want to be, you know what I mean, the face of social justice and, you know, police brutality and, you know, whatever it is that happens. They just wanted to play their game and make their money and, you know, give back silently when they could. But I think if you can give back, you know, silently, noisy, still able to maintain your integrity and your brand, you know, now's the time to do it. You know, if not now, then when? You know what I mean? It's a different than the handout bullshit. I think what he's doing is not, black people are doing a good job of not asking out for handouts. You know what I mean? Not this reparation shit. You know, what we've been doing a good job is what we always do is work with what we got. You know what I mean? Use platforms, you know, and when we have platforms that are big and can get notoriety or make, you know, actual change like Matt and Stack have been making. That's one lens. Then there's the Steph Curry lens. Then there's, you know, then there's a handful of other players that got other lenses. You know what I mean? Not one person can control that lens, so to speak. I'm glad that we're getting a wide variety of people. Steph's, Matt and Stack's way, Steph's way. Even Kyrie's way is right to me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because he represents somebody that trying to figure themselves out, you know what I mean? You know, whatever it is in his life, he's still a young man. He's trying to figure out, you know, what it means to be an athlete and have this influence and more money than athletes ever have. So I'm intent about doing that. I was raised to do that, you know what I mean? And be all inclusive, but I'm obviously a black man, you know what I mean? So I'm going to speak to black people first before I move out and venture out to you know what I mean, white America, so to speak, which is how movies like Friday and all these things that had great commercial success and launched everybody's career is because they were talking to a specific audience for real. You know what I mean? White America really fell in love with it based on the performances and the reaction is it from their, you know, from what they're seeing in their peer groups, you know what I mean? But films like that are targeted to us organically end up being things that are accepted worldwide because, you know what I mean, like you said, you don't have to go searching for that audience organically. If you know where that audience is and you can speak to them in their language and the way they're used to communicating, you're going to have some type of success. And with so many different platforms and streaming things, if you button it up right, you'll find a market where you'll be able to have some success.
Jelani, do you have feelings of optimism?
They come and go. They come and go. At this point in time, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Everybody's fatigued. Can't be out here. You know, I don't like to act surprised anymore. You know, I'm tired of acting surprised. Everybody knows what it is out here right now. If you're black and brown, Asian, you know what I mean? You know, women in the workplace, you know what I mean? With the weirdos, everybody at this point knows what time it is. It's not even, everybody knows the white community has some work that they have to do, you know what I mean? Because this is a white issue that they need to fix. We didn't rewrite the textbooks. We didn't steal the damn land. We didn't change the maps to make other things look bigger than when they really are. We didn't have no control over that shit. Even my school is St. Augustine, you know what I mean? I recently didn't find out till a couple of years ago that St. Augustine was a black man. The statue in front of the school is a white dude with, you know, the flowy hair. This dude was from North Africa, a black man, patron saint of Jews, known for having a good time. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like little sneaky shit like that. Like black people didn't do that shit. Ain't nobody trying to rewrite the history books, put a religion on people, change Bibles, change shit. You know, we didn't have control of it. We was over there with Mansa Musa spreading the diamonds and jewels and shit around and the love everywhere. You know what I mean? The Europeans came over and took minerals and all that extra shit. So that ain't our problem. You know what I mean? Yep. We got a white America has to fix that problem. Only thing that we have to do is like I said, at some point in time, I'm like, man, everybody got to do what they got to do at this point. If you want to say, fuck it, this, that, you know what I mean? It comes from a place of pain that you have to understand at this point in time right now. So I have optimism, but it just is what it is right now. You can't be acting a donkey out there in the street when you're black and you're driving and it's police. It's 2021 right now. We've seen all the fucking videos. You can't be out here bushing with the cops, trying to be arrogant. You know what I mean? If you've seen American Skin, you damn near can't be talking to them woke. Go watch American Skin, a great film. You know what I mean? Great film where the guy tries to save his son at a stop because he wants to have a woke moment in video. You can't even do that shit no more. So at this point in time, you can't be ignorant to the bullshit that is going on when you're Black, brown, and Asian. You got to be stepping lightly out here, keeping your head on your shoulders, you know what I mean? Making sure you're taking care of your loved ones. Because there's some real, I mean, I was on a job before this, and for whatever reason, like when cars were passing by, you know, I had my shit on and cars were passing by. I'm like, for real, it could be one of these weirdos just out here, just like, I'm gonna just run this nigga over. You know what I mean? It's just like weird shit like that enters my mind. You have to be out here thinking like that in the middle of the day. You got kids in schools away from you, white teachers doing funny shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Weird shit is going on in school. So there's so much reform and everything's just up in the wind right now. You have to be optimistic, but you can't be that dumb not to know that it is what it is right now.
Yeah, it is a white problem, and that's why we're trying to have that conversation going on with you know, a lot of our white listeners. And the ending of American Skin was fucking whacked. I did not expect that ending at
all. Oh man, it was a powerful film.
No spoiler alerts, Hootner.
Powerful film.
Shit, I didn't say anything. What happened?
Well, you said something.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to stop you before you say too much, like usual.
I'm not going to say nothing else. All right, let's buckle your seatbelts. Let's get
for this segment, Jelani and Rashawn, it was nice to see both of you guys. I enjoyed spending some time with you. Thanks for being here and being so candid. I can't stand this segment, so I don't participate.
He loves it. He bullshitting.
All right, be well, you guys.
All right, thanks, G.
Thanks, G.
All right, G.
All right. Good Times or Jeffersons?
Damn.
Are we starting off like that already?
That's the first one? Good Times, man. Good times.
Oh. Rashawn, you answered the Jeffersons, didn't you?
No, man, stop it.
Okay, so wait. Good Times or All in the Family?
Good Times.
So there be a 4-point play eventually, widen and lengthen the basketball court.
Should there be a 4-point play?
Or widen or lengthen the basketball court? Which should come first?
Man, widen and lengthen the court. I don't want to see no 4-point plays, man. That's just me. I don't want no rock and jock shit. This ain't no rock and jock. Dudes is getting bigger and faster anyway. You know what I mean? Let them rock out in a little more space.
I agree. So we've transformed. What's next? What's the next kind of player after Steph?
Damn, that's tough. I think right now you're seeing specialists. Here, I got one for you. Right now you're seeing specialists. I think actually it's going to go back to where everybody had game 1 through 5, right? And it's not just somebody pick and rolling. I think it's going to change to 5 players on the court that can do the exact same thing. So if you can drive and kick, you can drive and kick to another person who got some wiggle, and then he gonna kick to somebody else.
Horrible basketball. Oh my God, that is horrible basketball.
But that's what it's gonna be. But it can still
that's
go
what
in
it's
the
gonna
post. It can still go in the post. I'm just saying it won't be like a Steven Adams. Even if it is the Steven Adams, like he's still gonna be able to step out and knock down the 3 or bring the ball up the court or something like that. That's where I think it's moving to.
Me personally, I just feel like diversity in players make the game more interesting. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
You know, when you got 5 of the same guys, it's like, it's really like your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. There's no like, so like I was having a discussion with my brother about this, and we were talking about how the game is less predictable than it used to be. When we were coming up, you knew what the defensive scheme was based on the way teams played. And now you got Kyrie and James Harden, guys that don't have any structure to what it is they're gonna do next. They got signature moves, but they're gonna break plays all the time. When we were coming up, you ran your play for a specific set shot for a specific guys. Guys did their job and it worked like a well-oiled machine. And now you got one guy that always just breaks the play in the middle of everything. And not that that shouldn't, I mean, it's valuable, but it's very few guys that are really good at it, but everybody still does it.
Yeah, it's the babies are learning the wrong way because they're missing patterns of basketball. When I used to coach there's certain patterns in basketball that they completely forgot, like how to get like easy layups, or sometimes
Back
they just
doors.
want to euro for no
Screening.
reason.
Yeah.
Back
Screening
doors. They don't
people.
screen no more.
No.
They don't screen no more in the league.
They don't touch each other anymore. They don't even want to touch each other.
Nah, they just be exchanging airspace, bro.
Yeah.
So it's
When
interesting, you guys talk.
I coach high school. I coach high school, and the kids will always be like, "Coach, I could beat you," and I'm like, "You can't beat me because I'm too big. Like, you're not gonna even want to touch me, and I'm just gonna back you down, or go right through you. You don't even want, like, I'm sweating, and you don't.
You're
want
gonna
my
be
sweat to
mad.
touch
You're
you.
gonna take it personally.
Right.
Man, Coach, you got extra physical with me and this and that. Man, no, I'm not about to go nowhere, but straight to the basket in minimal space.
Exactly.
That's what's missing is like they need 6 moves to do what we used to do, like a rip through and like go right off the shoulder, end up straight up at the basket. So they got a lot of fat on the game, but they nice though. I ain't gonna. No, you get
some of them nice.
on
Some of them nice.
One of these young dudes. That's your ass. You know what I mean? So they can shoot. They got wiggle. So they nice. It's just a different style, and I think they're missing, like Rashawn said, a couple patterns from the old school to keep the game
balance.
balanced. Yeah.
The integrity of the game.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad Gordon got off because he's a motion guy and he runs motion still with his high school team, nothing else.
Yeah.
And I'm of the school of thought, and as a skills trainer myself, I teach a combination of both old school fundamentals and making sure they have at least one go-to, and more of a holistic approach with body language, leadership, those types of things. But, I teach in the Steve Smith and the Kevin Johnson. Those are my 2 go-tos that I teach. And, they got to also be able to know how to rip and go, do a plyo push with like a Derrick Rose side plyo push, basic moves to get past somebody on one dribble.
Right.
All right, let's keep it moving. Shawshank, Lean on Me, Poetic Justice, or Friday?
Man, what kind of pack is that? What kind of 4-pack is that? Shawshank, Lean on Me, Poetic Justice, or Friday? I'm Friday'd out. Poetic Justice was the bomb. Man, I wish he didn't have Lean on Me against my boy Anthony Drain. I'm gonna take Lean on Me. That was my shit, dog. Fair East Side. Fair East. That was my shit, man. Was that Troop that was in there singing that or whatever?
Yeah.
That was my shit. I gotta go with Lean on Me. HNIC, Morgan Freeman, the Batman. Yeah. Lean on Me.
So you were singing. So what song would you be singing in the car right now if you were by yourself?
Depending on what my mood is. Right now, I'm going to be singing that new Snoop, Gang Signs, off his new album. He's just some vintage Snoop West Coast shit. So I'm going to be singing, my moods change. My music is eclectic. I might be singing some James Blake. You know what I mean? I could go, you never know. You never know. I'm a San Diego guy. I could be rostered out. You just never know. It depends on how my mood is.
David Wingate's cousin was starting point guard on my high school team, and he would always play Barry White going to the games. I was like,
wow.
I was like, that is crazy. So wait, what would you be singing at the family picnic?
I wouldn't be singing shit at the family picnic. I'd be too busy filling my face. I might be on the domino table. I might give you a couple. I might give you a couple bars, but it's the family table. I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to be in the cut when I'm with my family. You know what I mean? I don't have to do too much parading around. I just like to be invisible when I'm with
Who's doing the barbecue?
Probably my wife.
Ooh.
For real. She build the grill, cook on the grill.
Wow.
You know what I mean? She's the handyman in the house because she has smaller hands. My hands are too big. That's always my excuse. I can't screw that down in there, man. My hands too big, man. So
you said you had 2 kids?
I got 2 kids.
Are they hoopers?
They are. My girl just actually started her first workout. She surprised us all. We were all watching her. She just took off and was like doing shit we didn't even know that she could do, like had control over the ball, like looked supremely fluid and pretty at the same time. It was awesome.
Nice.
My son is me and Andre Miller had a team. We were starting a team before the pandemic hit. And my Andre Miller, 20-year NBA point guard, like designated him as the point guard. And he was like literally coming out of Boys and Girls Club basketball, wasn't wanting to do the club thing. But we were starting a team. He was starting to rock out, you know what I mean, around a whole bunch of kids. Marvin Jones kid, the wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. I think he got traded, but we just had a bunch of we was gonna be dope. We starting it up back now, but after COVID hit, he loves his grandparents and he was terrified of COVID. So basketball really wasn't his jam. His academics was, and protecting his grandparents because he wanted to have a chance of seeing them. Wow. So I kind of didn't sweat him, but now he's waking back up. We just started working out. We're gonna start working out with Dre and get him back on the circuit and ease him back into it. But yeah, to answer your story, long story short, yes, they both are hoopers.
That's nice. Cool. So best saying after a made basket: "Wop, swack 'em, swick it," or bottoms.
Swap. You said swap.
Yeah, either swap or swack 'em.
Swack 'em. Skeet. I like swackums because that swackum when that thing follow through the bottom of that thing. Yeah, fall through the bottom of that thing and the net jump back through the top.
Hell yeah. You
usually lean with swackums. It's a little janky. You usually leaning off to the side. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like swackum. My new shit is cabbage. Like when they go, I'll be like cabbage. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go with swackum.
I bet. So if the NBA logo was changed, would you choose Bill Russell, Kareem, Kobe, Mike, or LeBron? Stop
it. Going with Bean. All due respect to everybody else. I love LeBron and Cap and everybody else, but I'm going with Bean. I've never seen such reverence, for a person after he's been taken away from the game. Unfortunately, this was, he met, he left this earth too fast, but everybody know what time Kobe's game spoke for itself. I think it was transcended a lot of times. So I think what he did after the game, pushing dudes to be fathers, girl dads, how he was on the business man tip, what he was doing while he was playing behind the scenes for his business. He was writing those books and winning best house every year at Los Angeles. They were doing shorts, writing books. So I'm gonna go with Bean.
Interesting. You and your boy KJ. Grape Ape, Pink Panther, Fat Albert, or Scooby Doo?
Fat Albert. Yeah, Fat Albert. Yeah. Fat Albert all the way.
Pancakes, waffles, or French toast?
That's tough. I used to be all about the French toast. Depending on who making the waffles. Is that a Belgian waffle? Is this like some home waffle? You know what I mean? Depending on who waffle.
Waffle House.
You know
Waffle House. There you go.
Definitely if it's from the Waffle House. You know what I mean? But I'm a French toast, man. Because it's hard to mess up the French toasties. And if you can get you a good French toast, you'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure. Candy or popcorn at the movies?
I'm eating both. Why you got it, man? You gotta make a decision on that. And I'm mixing I'm going to the bougie theater and I'm mixing caramel popcorn with the butter. I'm pumping butter over the shit. And I'm getting some candy and a soda. I do not play a game in the movie theater. I'm like 2,500 calories deep. And I'm going to the matinee because you ain't gonna get me for the $25 for the ticket too. So I'm gonna go to the matinee and eat all that shit early. That's my answer.
That's hilarious. Chick Hearn, Steve Lavin, or Bill Walton as an announcer?
Chick.
Yeah.
Legendary Chick Hearn, yeah.
Queen Latifah or Salt and Pepper?
Queen Latifah showed me a lot of love in Peanuts in LA. You know what I mean? If you ever heard about the legendary Peanuts in LA, I got the super pass from Queen Latifah in Peanuts in LA. I'll never forget it. I was with Ricky Davis. MC Light was there. It was one of my great LA moments. It was a fantastic evening. So always Queen Latifah.
Wow, she's amazing. KRS-One or Eric B and Rakim?
KRS-One, simply because of my philosophy alone. I used to listen to that on repeat, like I swear, like 20 or 30 times.
I wrote every word down as a kid, just so I
Oh
could
my
learn that
goodness.
song.
My philosophy alone, dude, is just, I used to, like, turn that damn thing, go pick another song. I remember my parents like, dude, like, I think very deeply. That was
You're right.
That whole, yeah, definitely KRS-One.
Ice-T, 2 Live Crew, or NWA?
NWA, without a doubt. Followed by, I used to love 2 Live Crew, though. That ratchet shit, you know what I mean? I used to get in trouble for listening to a lot of that. Hey, we want time, and you know what I mean? All them songs. I used to like that Florida ratchet shit, you know what I mean? It used to come on the box, too. They used to have the best videos. I don't know if you remember the box, who was on cable. They used to show music videos on like Channel 54. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, 2 Live Crew used to be #1 all the time because it had the most raunchiest video. So,
yep.
But I'm an NWA gangster, West Coast gangster music, you know what I mean? So I gotta go NWA.
Daddy Kane, PE, Public LL, or Run DMC?
Who was the first one? Big Daddy Kane?
Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy, LL, or Run DMC?
Damn. The pink cookies and Boom and Sis, that whole the LL
F
had
the
a vibe.
police. Yeah.
Yeah, L had a vibe with me for a minute, man. He was holding me down.
And you light skin, man.
Yeah, he was representing for the light skinned brothers, you know what I mean? But who else was in that group?
Public Enemy.
You said Big Daddy Kane, though.
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy.
Big Daddy Kane was a vibe. I had a lot of Big Daddy Kane types. I used to be excited for the Big Daddy Kane drop. I'm gonna go with Kane. He was singing, you know what I mean? He was on some cool shit. He had to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
his flow was on point. You know, he had the ladies. Yeah, he had the sick ass part. I'm gonna go with Kane. In '88 with Kane ruled with half step. Half stepping was my shit.
Snoop, Jay-Z, Tupac, Drake, or Kanye?
Come on, man, that's so weird. I'm gonna go Tupac, but I don't appreciate this little batch that you put together. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go Tupac. Snoop is one of my favorite rappers just because Snoop's music is so positive and timeless, and he's still rapping. Drake is the shit. You know what I mean? But if it's out of that group, anything Tupac automatically wins for me. I ain't playing that game.
Morgan Freeman or Denzel?
Damn. You know, you put me in a tough spot here, man. You know, but I'm gonna have to go Zell.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, just the physicality of Zell. Zell done beat a couple people up in a couple movies. Morgan ain't really been beaten. No, he's not really a physical guy. You know, Denzel done jumped off a couple cars, bust a couple guns, beat a couple people up. You know what I mean? Morgan is just that classically, you know what you get with Morgan.
Yeah, no doubt. White Men Can't Jump, Hoosiers, Blue Chips, Space Jam, or Love and Basketball?
Man, White Man Can't Jump is my shit, bro.
That's a funny movie.
Yeah, I can't, you know, it's the basketball and Blue Chips was dope. The basketball scenes in Blue Chips was dope. You know what I mean? White Man Can't Jump. I just got, good feelings, good vibes. It was a good time for me when that movie came out. So Woody had on the David Robinson pumps. You know what I mean? Wesley was doing them bullshit labs around his back and around his head. You know what I mean? Marcus was in the flick. So I got to go with White Man Can't Jump.
You taught Kobe how to do a wrong-legged dunk.
Above the rim.
Wait, say that again?
Either White Man Can't Jump or Above the Rim.
Yeah. But you taught Kobe how to do a wrong-legged dunk, didn't you?
I did. We sat after the runs we did sat for about 10 minutes doing one-legged dunks.
That's crazy. And he did it. And he started doing it.
He definitely started doing it. Like, he added to his game right away.
Yeah.
That was his superpower. He would steal your shit and put it in his game.
Make it better.
Yeah, for sure.
That's classic. So if animals could talk, which would be more rude? A hippo, a rhino, or an alligator?
That's a good question. But rhinos seem like they're busters.
Yeah. All right. If you had a pet parrot, what would you teach it to say?
That's a good one, Hoop. If I had a pet parrot, what do I teach it to say? Ooh. I might be able to teach it to sing that Nate Dogg hook, smoke weed every day.
There you go. I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I knew that shit was coming.
Hey, if the parent can give me that Nate Dogg hook, you know what I mean? Like I'd be super happy with the bird. He get whatever he needed.
So if you had the first pick in a 3-on-3 tourney, would you pick Rashawn, Ray Young, or Chris Johnson?
Ooh,
That's dirty.
That is dirty.
That's dirty.
Where are we playing at?
Rucker Park. Rucker Park.
Ooh, that's a dirty
dirty.
question, man. That's so dirty. That's so dirty.
I would digress that question. I wouldn't even answer that. But that's
depends on where we been. That's a dirty ass question, man. That's so dirty. That's
why we call it this or that, baby.
That's everybody's so different too. It would have to depend on who we play, because I would need Rashawn for certain situations, you know what I mean? But Chris, if it's a Rucker Park, Chris is a tweak show, man.
Chris,
yeah, I might have to bring
Loco. He would be doing stuff. You'd be like, how the hell he do that?
Yeah,
like he could do that.
He could score from anywhere. He'd be able to handle the crowd. I feel like Ray, you know, Ray's sweet. You know, everything Ray does.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, Ray's, you know, the sweet town guy with the big cast and the hops. You know, Loco just gonna get it done. Rashawn is one of the sweet dudes too. Not get it twisted. So I'm gonna go with my college roommate, because I know we're gonna argue out there, you know what I mean? But he'll bite somebody's nose off to get it done for sure. You're gonna get you a bucket, and you ain't gonna know what kind of bucket it is.
Listen, I picked him for you. I picked him for you before you even answered it. I was like, he got it. Come on, man.
Oh shit! Bill Russell or Kareem?
Kareem, dog. I'm a Cap guy. I love Bill Russell too, but I'm on some Cap shit. So Kareem for sure.
Food in San Diego, LA, Seattle, Atlanta, Cleveland, or Toronto?
Damn. I mean, they all got their bright spots. They all got their bright spots. Cleveland is out.
Yeah.
We're not doing the Cleveland thing. Toronto, they got some good ass food in Toronto, man. They got the Marché. When I was up there, they had some fire ass food up there. They take their food seriously in Toronto. San Diego, we getting up there, but you know what it is, carne asada burritos and carne asada tacos. And damn, I wish you didn't ask me that. Seattle was good food, seafood moves, because we know what Seattle is. You can get your steak and a lobster. I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna keep it hometown, man. I'm gonna say San Diego. You can get whatever you need in San Diego. Plus, you're gonna get the best Mexican food on the planet. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say San Diego.
So I know they're different positions, but if you're starting a team, you take KD or Steph?
KD, me personally. I like the 7-footer who can shoot like Steph.
Kyrie or Harden?
Ooh.
Damn.
He said damn again.
I'm gonna go James just based on the size thing. I like big guards. Yeah, I like big guards. And I'm taking nothing from Kyrie now. He cold now, one of the coldest to do it. But I'm with Phil Jackson on the big guard thing. I like big guards who can see over shit and absorb contact and punish you. So, you know, I'm gonna go with James.
Yeah. Triple double threat. Kyrie, AI, or Zeke?
Ooh. Damn. Damn. Chuck. I'm gonna go with my dog. I'm gonna go with Chuck. You know, I'm a big Zeke fan too. You know what I mean? Kyrie just gonna have to sit this one out. He's a young fella. He got time. He got a couple times, you know, win a couple more chips and do some other brilliant things. I'm gonna go check, man. I ain't never seen nobody like Allen Iverson before.
Yeah.
So I played with him, played against him. You know, that's a tough little mother grabber right there. So, you know,
quickest first.
I put him in Nike camp. He was the same size as Nike camp.
So, probably 145 pounds. Probably 145 pounds.
Yeah, to be the number one pick, you know, throwing himself up against, you know, dudes like me, Rashawn, Mutombo, whoever, Shaq, whoever it was, I'm going to say check.
Do you take him over Harden then? About to contradict yourself.
If it was a little dude, I would take over one of my bigger guard selections. It would be Allen Iverson. I said that.
I see how you politically correctly answered that.
See, I did that. I would have been a great lawyer, but they just want too much time. It's a school thing.
Who is your favorite comedian?
Dave Chappelle. But rest in peace to Richard Pryor, the OG. Yeah. I used to listen to a lot of Richard. My dad used to let me listen to a lot of Richard Pryor tapes. Man. Live on Sunset with Eddie Murphy. So sorry, I got a lot of love for comedy, but Dave Chappelle, the dynamic storytelling, how he got you thinking and tying the stories, jokes in the beginning of the hour back to the last, you know what I mean? The way he's doing, and then just the mind part of what he does. You know, he's a little bit of everybody rolled up into one, you know what I mean? Without doing all the bumping around shit like Martin did, you know what I mean? Yeah. But Martin was great too, but I'm gonna say Dave Chappelle.
Props to him for getting through some of his stuff too, personally. Brady or Montana?
Oh, man, come on, man. I'm a 49er fan, and I like Thomason, but I'm going with Joe Montana.
Montana. Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, or Chuck? Set.
Ernie.
Wow.
Ernie got to hold that shit together, man. He got a lot of shit that he got to deal with.
Yeah, it's a lot of characters up there, boy.
Yeah, he keeps that thing running smooth with everybody getting texts. That's why they got so much love for Ernie, man.
That'd have turned into Tom and Jerry real quick, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If it wasn't for Ernie, they wouldn't hit the transitions, the marks, you know what I mean, the call-outs, and none of that. They all do a great job, but you know what I mean? And I got love for all of them, but I'll be showing up for Ernie sometimes because, you know, when he goes left, he's going to be able to put it back or he'll just laugh at them. And I think they all play off Ernie at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So Ernie's doing a good job of letting them be them. He got the most experience, you know, and they getting that shit from somewhere. I think it's Ernie. I'm going to go with Ernie, but I love the whole vibe of everybody.
Yeah, well, and he's overcome a lot, and that helps him on the set too.
I didn't know Ernie was that big. Ernie is
6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, and he huff. Ernie ain't no little dude. I saw him at All-Star Week. I was like, damn, I forgot. I hadn't seen him in a while. I was like, damn, Ernie ain't no little dude, man.
Yeah, exactly. All right, couple more. Is it wrong I think I asked Rashawn this one. Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
Yeah, they shouldn't play that game. That's just confusing. Anything animal should just turn you off. You know, that's some buster shit. Don't be trying to, you know, if you're gonna be a vegetarian, eat the kale cookie. You know what I mean? Don't be moving all on here to animal nothing. Stay over there and you
well, I gotta get going, guys. I'm before it get too late here. I'm going outside with my little man.
Yeah, you got it.
Yo, Jay, Mike, can you send me Jelani's information? I'll reach out to you, man.
Yeah, for sure. Good seeing you, brother.
Good seeing you, brother.
Thanks, Rashawn. All right, a couple more. All right, peace. Embiid, Jokic, Luka, or AD?
AD.
Because he won a title?
Yeah. Plus, he's a little, you know, he gets a little banged up here and there. You know what I mean? But because he won the title. Who?
All right. If your plane was crashing, who would you want sitting next to you?
Damn, what kind of question is that?
Well, you can go in a couple. You can go in a couple different directions. You could be someone you hate, or someone that you love, or someone that's old, someone that's got cancer. You know, you could go in a lot of different directions.
That's what. If my plane crashing, I wouldn't want to take down anybody I love.
The 45th president.
Hey, that'd be a good seatmate. That Buster right there, you know what I mean? Man, he'd definitely be a hard candidate. Any type of POS, racist, you know what I mean, person that doesn't really belong at every time. You know, leave it blank and put any racist person. No longer it's a waste of time here anymore. You know, let me give them an earful on their way to their demise.
Yeah, there you go. And sock them upside the head real quick right before you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
3 more. Best Yiddish word: bubby, mashugana, or tuchus.
I think my wife used to have the nerve to call me Bubby. Right? So I'm Bub, short Bub, but I imagine it was short for Bubby. It was whack.
That's
it was all whack. But so I'm gonna go Yiddish, you know what I mean? At the time I didn't understand it, so I took offense to it. But what was the Bubby?
Mashugana or tuchus?
Tuchus.
Yeah, right. You and KJ picked the same one. Kiss my tuchus.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Best mama joke: your mom is so dumb she tried to put M&Ms in alphabetical order. Or your mom is so dumb she tried to make an appointment with Dr. Pepper.
Oh shit, Dr. Pepper, just for the Dr. Pepper reference for sure. You know what I mean? Without question.
So you have I'll give you one Jim Herrick imitation. This camp is very, very, very important to me. You got a Jim Herrick imitation?
I do. I'll tell you, it actually is right. Right before we got suspended, me and Stoney, Coach Herrick pulls me in the office, and he goes, "McCoy, are you smoking dope in the dorms?" And I was like, no. Who told you that, Coach? And he was like standing. He's like, I don't want to hear about you smoking dope in the dorms, McCoy. You're a good kid. You know, just real chill, man. I got so many Coach Eric imitations, but that was like my favorite ones because I was like, this motherfucker asked me if I was smoking dope in the dorms. I'm like, yeah. He was classic, dude. I love Coach Eric, man. So yeah.
Is he still helping out Mark?
I don't know. I've been talking. I'm gonna reach out to him. I don't know. I know he was. I don't know. But anytime you can get him involved around basketball and pick, he's forgotten about most basketball than people profess to have wrote manifestos about. So you know what I mean. Anytime you can get him around your program or learn from him, you know that's a win.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and reach out to him. So where do you see yourself in 5 years, and then we'll let you go?
I see myself on the cover of Wired and a couple of other magazines in 5 years from, you know what I mean, from a couple of plays, the things that we want to do in technology and things that we want to do in content and kind of how we want to bring those together to use. I see myself being an executive producer, bringing together a full feature, you know what I mean, in the next 5 years and just being a good dad. I'm trying to grind so I can disappear. You know what I mean? I ain't really here for the rah-rah. And you know what I mean? I don't need I'll take a couple covers on the magazines that I like to read and like I know that it'd just be cool to have. But besides that, I just plan on making dope content, being the best a role model I can for our community and my kids, and you know, just being known for doing dope shit. When you see me, I want you to know that, you know, some dope shit is either being done, is about to be done, or just, you know, we done already did it and we leaving. And I hope to, like I said, just be a good example for athletes, you know what I mean, after they transition and know there's different things that we can still do out here while maintaining, you know what I mean, our mental health, you know what I mean? And I just want to be a beacon of light for people, you know what I mean, but with a similar experience or people that have been through some things and want to do the same things that I'm able to do or beginning to do. I know it ain't gonna be for everybody. I don't want to be for everybody. I'm about premium exclusivity, and I'm a character person. So I just want to be just stay on this good good frame of mind that I'm in and continue to help people. And like I said, just be a beacon of light for all creators and athletes, you know what I mean, moving forward from 2021 and beyond. That's it. Not a lot.
Well, it is a lot because you've allowed yourself to pay attention, and your all your chapters of your journey, you know, have allowed you to take this road now, whether it's the road less traveled or, you know, you've paid attention to your inner voice, and your inner voice will typically guide you unless you're ignoring it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we also have to give credit to the people that came before you
Without doubt.
in your space, whether it's Kareem, Bill, Colin, Muhammad Ali, you know, obviously Malcolm and Martin Luther King, but you know, anything we can do on our platform, which isn't to the scale of some of the things that you guys are doing, the Barons and the you know, Steven Jacksons and Matt Barnes and all that, and what you're doing with Media 34 and Ray. But I say this all the time, but I truly mean it, because this is a passion of mine to do what I can as a responsible white man. And I'm not Kyle Korver, I'm not JJ Redick, but it does start at home, and we're doing anything we can to help change this narrative. Like you said, it is a white issue, and we need to come correct, because we've been complicit for far too long.
No, who it ain't. I think it's about your heart in your mission. You know what I mean? Like you know, might not be Kyle Korver or JJ Redick, but you getting right at this point in time, you get more guests on your show than they are on their podcast, or you know, you getting KJs. You know what I mean? You getting Steve Lavins. You know what I mean? And everybody else, Ray. Everybody's tapping in with you for a reason. They're making time out of their day for a reason. You know what I mean? So continue. We like, if you anything else, other subjects want to come up, you want to do a group pod, whatever it is, just let me know. We'll always support you. We appreciate you supporting us and bringing up some of these issues. And like you said, trying to, you know, be that light, be a beacon of, you know, of light and hope for the white community and open up some of those conversations. I appreciate you not getting beat up by Loco. I know he gets turned up. You know what I mean? He did a fantastic job with him, but that's why I love him. And that's why he's in the position that he is now with KJ Live, because, you know, he's transparent and he's got a lot of great stuff to say. You got a lot of great stuff to say. Like I said, not one person it should be controlling the mic right now. So whatever we can do to help you as well, just let us know, reach out. And yeah, Sports Deli, this was the bomb. I'm good. It's good to see Rashawn too.
I surprised you with that one. Yeah,
you did. I appreciate that. And that's what it's about, dude. Dudes don't get out the house.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We got history. It's been years since I talked to him. So that's why, you know what I mean? That was awesome. I appreciate that surprise. That's gonna make my Friday right there. So appreciate the love. We're here to support. Yep. Let me know if we can do it again, whatever, totally down with it. And yeah, appreciate much continued success to you, sir. And if I can help be an ambassador to get you anybody else that you think, you know, you want on the show, just let me know.
I appreciate the love, man, and much love back at you. We'll talk soon, man. Good luck with all the filming next week and going forward. All right.
My dog. Thank you.
All right.
Yep.
Peace. Man, can't thank Jelani McCoy and Rashawn McLeod enough for joining us today in the Sports Deli. It's interesting. When I decided to go in a different direction 5 years ago, it was a tough time as a college basketball coach, not knowing what I was going to do next. And, you know, I've gone into some different spaces, and it's been pretty cool to tap into some of the people in the past and seen this sort of 6 degree of separation. And those words mean a lot coming from someone like Jelani or Chris Johnson, who was on the last time, or Tremaine Folks, Steve Lavin. And we're just trying to let this thing grow organically. And the end game is to restore the faith in this country and whatever layer we are, so that people see white America and Black America as equals once and for all. So again, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for Coach K for making a cameo and popping in. Remember, your voice matters when fighting systemic racism. Read a book, acknowledge your white privilege, watch a movie about institutional racism, call your local or state representatives, and or have a conversation with someone that doesn't look like you. We have to change the economic, educational, police, housing, prison, and voting suppression narratives that currently need to be changed in this country. And the only way to do that is to listen and learn and then help be a part of the mobilization and change that we want to see. Remember, you can always send us an email to thesportsdeli@gmail.com. And for Dr. J, I'm Hootie Hoot. And please mask up still. Remember, Black Lives Matter, and let's stop Asian hate and any other type of hate, whether it's Islamophobia or anything else. And until next time, peace.